Escopia Radio Talks. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Escopia Radio Talks. I am your host, Mr. Foxtail. Today is just an amazing day because, wow, I'm joined by a fabulous, I'll say, alternative R&B artist, right? And it's our second episode of 2022. Happy New Year once again. But sitting across from me, nonetheless, is the lovely SBX. Some of you guys may know her for her song "For You" or "Waiting," or just her main project, her debut project. But welcome. How you doing, bro?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Where are you from?
This is work. Is this working?
Yeah.
I'm just double checking.
It is working, don't worry.
I'm from Empangeni, KwaZulu Natal. But I live here in Gauteng, obviously because of work and whatever. But I'm a Zulu girl originally.
Damn, that's so far, bro. Like, don't talk about, like, KZN is far. I mean, you think about you're far from home, right? But before we touch base on everything, right? I just want to know, in terms of your upbringing.
Okay.
I mean, from Empangeni, how's that like when growing up as a child?
Honestly, I grew up in a very music-oriented family.
Okay.
My dad has a PhD in music. He's conducted choirs in the past. He's composed his own music in the past, and my mom's been in the choir. My sister's a singer, so I grew up in a very creative family. So I've always grown up in the arts, and I think I can really, I guess, give that part of my life to where I am right now. It contributed a lot, and it influenced me a lot how I was raised.
And then in terms of sound, because I mean, you say choir, so I presume most artists, when they say I come from a musical background, just know it's gospel.
Okay.
It's always come from a churchy type of music background. What led you to the sound that you're doing today? Because I mean, the sound is R&B-ish. How would you describe it as well?
So from my parents' influence, I grew up, especially my dad, who always played music around the house, and when we'd go on trips, always played music in the car. But the music that he played was Westlife and Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson and Backstreet Boys. So I grew up around pop and R&B and soul. And then with my siblings, one of my brothers introduced me to hip hop, Drake, Kanye West, and then my sister introduced me to 90s, early 2000s R&B. Your Ashantis, your Jennifer Lopez, your Aaliyahs, and then my eldest brother introduced me to house. So that's just where my different influences have come from. Like, everyone had their tastes, and I just kind of gravitated towards anything that sounded good, and that's why we're here.
But how would you describe your sound? I mean, you mentioned pop, R&B. To you, how would you describe it?
My sound.
Yeah, your sound. Because I feel like every artist has a unique sound.
For sure. I feel like mine is R&B but infused with hip hop sounds, because I love hip hop. I really, really love hip hop, but I also love R&B just as much. I always kind of not compare, but related to something that the stuff that Aaliyah started doing when she started working with Missy Elliott and Timbaland, that those hip hop beats, but with that R&B storytelling, So that's how I would generalize my music. But I think as an artist, I don't want to ever say I'm one thing. I see myself as someone pretty versatile. I feel like I can hop onto any genre, but I think for the most part, I'm very hip hop, R&B centralized.
Honestly, now the name SBX. I mean, when you Google SBX, you get a sports. Literally, when you Google it, it's a sports. So the name, how did that come about?
Oh, it's actually quite simple. It's just my first name and my surname. So my first name is Sbahle, SIB, so SB when you say it, because you don't really say the I. And then my surname is Ulu, so that's X, SBX.
Damn, I would not have thought about. I mean, SBX, to break it out. I thought maybe, how can I put it? you're a fan of that type of sport, per
I was like
se?
a fan of sports. Also on Twitter, you when you type SBX, also like stuff about like Starbucks comes up. So maybe I'm a fan of Starbucks as
That's crazy.
well.
That is crazy. That is
No,
crazy.
it's just
Wow.
my name.
Damn, I wouldn't have thought about like I won't like I mean breaking down your name like that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy. Now, moving over to you moving to Johannesburg, right? And you're studying. What are you studying?
So I was studying at Wits,
Hey,
theater. Yeah,
expensive things.
theater, theater and performance. BA theater and performance.
Right.
Um, honors, and yeah, that's what I was studying. That's my initial reason for moving,
Okay.
besides it being just a smart career move, because I couldn't really do what I wanted to do in my very small hometown.
Oh, so you graduated already.
Yeah.
So what are you currently outside of music? What do you then do? Because I know with a lot of artists, music is not the first source of income, and it definitely is not a stable source of income.
Okay.
So yeah, what's your external stuff like when you're not doing music? What are you then doing? Does it apply to what you qualified for as well? That's the question.
So I've always I always call myself like a creative through and through. I
Okay.
don't think I could ever. I'm not a 9 to 5 kind of person, so I won't sit here and lie and say, "Oh, I got a 9 to." I don't have a 9 to 5. Besides music, I have an interest in modeling, obviously acting because I'm a qualified actress. I'd like to get into songwriting, and then I don't know, directing. We'll see where it goes. But I think anything that I do besides music will be creative.
Now what? I mean, that's that's a lot, but it's doable. What are the challenges that you have kind of faced when you're trying to like move into music? I mean, you come from a musical background and you studied acting, per se, right? What are those challenges that you faced when trying to go into music? Because I mean, when one actually takes time to listen to your music, which we're going to touch base on your first debut EP, right? It's like, how can I put it? It's in depth. How can I put it? It's more of an intimate love. It takes your mind off just like how regular R&B is just like vibey. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're able to jam to it. That one is like it plays with your mind. Though, you know what I mean? Which is a good thing because it also plays with your emotions and you actually feel the actual emotions that the artist is trying to emit to the world. So how can I put it? How can I place this question, bro? I don't know how to like put it together. It's a very, 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 very difficult question. But how would you then describe your creative process?
In terms of making music,
Yeah, in
of
terms of
course,
making music and challenges as well. What are
and
the challenges you
challenges.
faced?
Okay. Well, when it comes to like my process, I try my best to just be as honest as possible. I mean, I discovered I could write songs at age 8,
What?
and I wasn't writing good songs though. They were
That's
not
but
good.
it's not fire though. I
They
mean, at
were
the age of
kind of
8.
stupid. But I've always loved creative writing, and I was always good at it at school. Like English was one of like my top subjects, and also my dad's also an author, so it's just kind of runs in the family. I've always, because I love to write, I want to write from an honest place. I want to
Makes
write
sense.
from truth, and everything that you guys hear is like experiences and personal and real. I don't really make up anything. But so when it comes to the process, I just kind of want that thought and freedom of wanting to be intentional with my writing and
Okay.
wanting to be honest with my writing to come through. I really want people to hear like my stories and understand my stories and maybe even relate, and be able to say, shit, I went through that. Can I cuss?
You can feel free. It's a free platform.
Be like, shit, I relate to that, and I get that, I've been through that, or
Okay.
this makes me cry, this makes me feel a certain way. And so when I'm just writing, I just write from the heart. I try my best to just write from whatever feeling I'm feeling at the time. The feeling can change. I could feel different the next day,
Makes sense.
but at the moment, this is how I feel, and that's what I want to write about. And then in
Okay.
terms of challenges, I mean, the industry is complex. It's got its issues.
Got a tick.
It's got its, but I think what's worked for me is just me being my authentic self. I really pride myself on being able to find my audience and have people gravitate towards me just being myself, and just allowing everything to come naturally. So I feel like that's what it's been so far.
That's mind blowing, bro. That's mind blowing. I won't lie. Now, moving over to like your first debut, your first baby per se, right? These songs are about you. I think it's from 2020, right?
Yes, 2020.
Yeah, I get the dates mixed up because I started jamming to like late 2021, right? But how was compiling that project like? I mean, whew, sounds heavy emotionally, bro. You've seen it all. Heartbreaks. There's one article I read actually that said it's also a composition of lust. Do you mind breaking down the elements of the project?
Damn. Okay. I gotta really get into it now. So I wrote that project during quarantine. We had just got into lockdown, level 5 as the country, and I went back home to KZN. I left Joburg, went back home to get to KZN, and I was losing my fucking mind. I was losing my mind, and but at the same time, I had like producers sending me beats and being like, I heard your. There's a song that I wrote called Libra's Interlude, and producers were coming in and saying, "Oh, I've got beats for you," and I was just like, "I don't know if I even want to release anything, but you know what? I've got nothing better to do because we're in quarantine and we can't go anywhere." So send them through. One of those producers was City Santana, and I really fell in love with his beats, City Santana and Sunny the Maker, and yeah, I wrote those songs from like just based off of what I was going through at the time, and I was going through a breakup at the time,
Damn.
and it was really tough. And again, essentially, that's where For You comes from, and the lust part comes from. There's like 2 songs on the project, What We Do and Conversate, and those songs are quite sexual. But they're crazy enough, completely made up. They're not from like real experiences. It's just from your thoughts. You know, as a human being, you fantasize. Those songs were fantasies on paper. And so, yeah, that's where the lust comes from. It was just a sense of longing and wanting and being in quarantine. And I mean, the person that I was even, gosh, to lay it all out there, the person I was even lusting over weren't even in the same vicinity. Like, even if I wanted something to happen, it was not going to happen. So all I could do was just really write music about it. And I did. And then These Songs Are About You was born.
Now, what about Waiting? Was it Waiting?
Yeah.
In the way where we go, and I will pray. Never, my sing is bad. What's that all about? Who you trying to pray for in the song? Because I hear
A lot of people here praying, but I
What?
say waiting. And I will wait for you. And I will wait for
I will lie.
you.
The whole time I've been singing it, and I will pray for you.
That you're not the first person
crazy.
to say that,
Mind
actually, which is actually crazy. So I wonder like what versions of the song people like understand and relate to. So people are hearing different things, but no, waiting is just basically, oh gosh, about someone that I think honestly it was infatuation, and at the time I felt like, you know, when you like really like someone and you feel like you understand them and you want to understand them, and you feel like they're going through stuff, and you're like, you know what, I'll wait for you to figure it out. I'm here for you. Da, 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 da. That was basically that song.
So it's based on a guy.
Did I say guy?
that-
I'm joking. It is based on someone that I felt like I wanted to wait for.
What question were we on? Because we
Did the guy get the hints in the things?
Yeah, did he get the hints?
Oh yeah, I have this thing where I sometimes tell people that I've written songs about them. So I believe I told them. I didn't say these songs are about you. I just say listen to these specific songs. Bye. And then
Damn, that is
so
crazy.
if he listened, then he'll know.
Damn, and then now writing style. I know you kind of did explain your creative process, but I feel like that also differs from your writing style. Are you more old school, where you notepad, pen and paper type of thing, or iPad or whatever, you know, however how people write
Yeah.
songs these days? Like,
Yeah, I can't write on my phone at all. Also, I have this thing like if I write on my phone and then I lose it, oh my gosh, I would just disappear. So I'm old school, pencil, eraser, book. I have like four books.
Damn.
I can even like go through books that I wrote like when I was 8 years old. I've been
What?
writing like songs like on pen and paper
Does it
since
make sense? Okay, what was your first song, the first song you wrote?
my memory, and this might be wrong, but my memory, my uncle passed away in 2009, I believe, and I wrote a song about him, and then I showed it to my mom. That's my memory, but it could be another song. But from my memory, that's I was like 9.
That is bizarre. That is bizarre. Thinking about it is like, yo, you've seen it all. You've seen it all. Now moving over to these things. No, these songs. Oh, flip, man. Okay, these songs are about you too.
Yes.
The sequel to these songs are about you. Please just kindly break down the song list and what the significance of each song. Because I feel like they relate to each other at some point in time. The way you composed it. So what's the significance of each song? Significant meaning, whether it be to you or the type of message you're trying to transpire to those that are listening to your music.
Okay, well, with these songs are about you too. The EP in general is just, I guess, an extension of the first EP, almost a continuation of that story.
Okay.
A continuation of that idea of heartbreak, of longing, of lust, of missing, of romance, of all these things. And those songs on this EP emulate the exact kind of same message as the first, where we have songs like Why and Say We Just Friends, and if I can even remember my songs, Same Story, where we're speaking about like confronting someone about how much they are not giving, reciprocating the same energy, and they're not loving you how you want to be loved. And especially with Why, where in the hook I basically ask a series of questions about like, why can't you answer my line? Why can't you give us some time? Why aren't you mine? Why would you try to waste my time? Why would you give me no time? Because I'm giving you mine. Why would all these things? I'm asking this person all these questions because I'm trying to find out like what it is, what was actually going on between us. And you have songs like I Don't Want to Love, also Say We Just Friends, where it's a bit, lustful. And then you have songs like Jews and Out in Fairland, where it's like I'm taking my power back and I'm not going to worry about this relationship any longer. And first of all, worry about your friends because your friends were hitting on me while we were dating. But but it's just that thing of I'm taking my power back and I am who I am and I'll let you go and you do what you want to do. And then obviously you have deeper songs like For My Brother and yeah.
It's the same brew. From the
From
first
the
EP.
no.
Oh, different brew.
No, but
Yes, like
but
you go through the most.
this makes me sound like I get around the block. No.
No, but I'm saying romantically you go
Yeah.
through the most.
For sure. I do, which is just kind of sad, but it's okay. We write great songs out of it. But it's almost the same thing as the other EP where there was like a bunch of songs about the same person. This EP also has a bunch of songs about the same person. Not all of them, but like maybe like 4
Oh,
of them are about the same person,
it's
I
nice
think.
being there, man.
I don't
They
know.
kind of get to be, how can I put it? Because I mean, number one, they kind of serve as an inspiration to you, right?
Yeah,
To music
amuse.
going forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now let's break down the song For My Brother.
Okay.
Please just give us like a side piece of what's the whole, how can I put it? The whole drive for the song. Because I mean, the mood was sad, like
Yeah.
sad. Like you could feel that okay, it comes from a very deep place. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And dark space per se, to the mind per se. So, what is that all about?
So, For My Brother is a song that I wrote, I believe, end of 2020, but I'm only releasing it now because I just wanted to hold on to it. I wrote it about my brother, my eldest brother, who passed away in 2015.
Sorry for your loss, man.
It's okay. And I just wrote it like from the perspective of, this 15-year-old who's experiencing essentially their first great loss and not being able to understand it and also just feeling like they missed out on so much and they've lost so much because of it. I always think and I say, like, I was 15 when my brother passed away and he was 27, and I always felt like I never really got to get to know him, and I never really got to spend time with him and all these things. I did, but I feel like there's so many things that I wish that he could have been a part of, and he was actually one of the few people who really encouraged me to do what I'm doing right now. He saw so much in me, and he saw that I could be a star, and he saw that I had the potential, and I'm doing this for him. And I even say it in the song that I hope that you're proud, like that I'm doing this shit that you've been wanting me to do. Yeah.
I felt that. Yeah. Damn. But now to the off to the good mood. I mean, to lift the spirits up. What opportunities have come your way? I mean, as an artist, surely there's opportunities along the way as you're creating music, as you are meeting up with new creatives along the way, as you're trying to expand and doing PR. Yeah, what opportunities have prevailed? No, not prevailed. Damn, that's a bad word to use. But what opportunities have availed themselves to you?
I mean, as you continue to promote yourself and release music, um, people come to you, they want to collaborate and they want to feature you on stuff. And I've met a lot of, OGs and veterans through my music, and of which I'm very grateful for. And yeah, it's just it's allowed me to be in a space that I've always dreamed of being.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been beautiful.
Damn. Now I feel like from that, are you a picky creative? Like you picky of who you work with and who you don't work with?
Absolutely.
I respect. I don't blame you.
Absolutely.
I don't blame
I always say, like, I've never, my two projects don't have any features for a reason, because I'm not just going to feature someone for the sake. It needs to make sense creatively, and the song needs to be good. It's not just about having a big name on a song just for the clout. It's about something that even 20 years from now, people are going to be listening to, be like, I fuck with the song,
you. Now, do
you
you
know?
see yourself working on features maybe in the next couple of months or
Yeah,
two years?
this year I want to actually open up that space and work with
Okay.
some creatives, but I'm still gonna be picky.
Makes
I'm not
sense.
gonna just work with anyone, but I do want to work with some, dream features.
Makes sense. Now, what's the vision for your brand this
Okay.
year?
That's a tough question. I just want to take it as far as we can take it, honestly. I've always wanted to penetrate the international space, and I believe we can do it. We just want to take it as far as we can take it, and
Till the wheels fall off, as they say.
until the wheels fall off.
Damn. Now, to those that are watching, those who are listening, and the aspiring singers, aspiring vocalists that wanna get to maybe certain level of how to control vocals per se. Those who are learning, they don't have the funds to go study. And universities obviously, I'd say to a certain extent, they can be gatekeepers because obviously they have to pick if you match a certain criteria, whatever, whatever. What advice would you give to them in order for them to develop their God given talent and nurture it to a point where they're able to put products out there? So how does one where can they even start?
I think it's very important to put yourself out there, but not just only put yourself out there, but also just be okay with doing things by yourself. A lot of the times as creatives, we feel like we need gatekeepers or we need a big name to get somewhere, but I think it's so important to do things on your own and nurture your craft and find yourself, so that no matter who you work with, even if you're working with Jay-Z, you're not working on a song for Jay-Z. Jay-Z is working on the song so it fits you, it fits your style. So I feel like it's so important for creators on the come up to really nurture their craft, whether it's going on YouTube, and searching vocal coaches and just doing your research on, depending on what space you want to penetrate, whether it's SA artists or international, just doing that research and listening to other people's music, especially people that you want to collaborate with, and just seeing how they do it and seeing how they got there and seeing how you can put their journey into your life and kind of emulate their actions or emulate that into a way that it fits for your journey.
Makes sense. Now I hear you saying SA and international, right? just please just explain it to me for a minute,
Okay.
because I understand the markets are different, right?
Yeah.
But how does it then now, if you're doing pop, how does South African pop differ to like international standard pop, like in terms of standards per se? Because I feel like you're putting it out as in terms of standards, like they differ per se. How did you get to that?
I do feel like
Thoughts?
SA does have a different audience as to opposed to maybe the American audience,
Okay.
and I think it's more based on culture more than anything,
Okay.
and how we grew up. And in America they speak English, the songs are in English, and here in South Africa we really love to hear songs with vernac, and so sometimes when you're an English artist, even in South Africa, it's kind of difficult to penetrate the market sometimes, not all the time, but it's really difficult to penetrate the market because the majority of the market wants to hear something that they can understand and relate to. The difference between American pop, in South Africa we have Afro pop, and that is that element of African sounds, African beats, still with pop, so it's a bit mainstream, but it's still got that cultural South African background. Whereas in America, it's bubblegummy, it's obviously in English, and then you have obviously artists that I can relate to that. You have your Ariana Grandes, even Drake is a little bit of a pop star. And yeah, you've got your pop artists, your Dua Lipas. They have that very dancey pop, still mainstream, but it has its centralized audience as well. That's also a culture thing. I think the difference is in culture. And yeah.
Now, in terms of those that are perhaps watching because of time constraints, right? Those who are watching or listening to the episode, where can they find you? Where can they go listen to your music?
So my music is on all streaming platforms. These songs are about you too just dropped today, January 14th, on all streaming platforms. You can go stream it. And I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok soon. At SBX music _ on all social media platforms. That's where you'll find me.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's
Thank you
episode.
for having me.
The time constraints are killing us. I wish we had more time. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Till next time. That's a wrap. Huh? The what?
I'm wildin', thinking about all those times when our love was hopeful, it's dying. Caught up all in this fighting. We're fighting love, what's the problem? You're feeding into these problems. We're getting nowhere, it's hurting. Don't mean to hurt you, if you leave I have to. Why can't you answer my line? Why should I give her some time? Why aren't you mine? Why would you try waste my time?